Hello viewers, and welcome back to Renowned Explorers, more to explore. Like I said last time, I think we're going to Egypt. Now, I do actually... there's a treasure that's available to purchase in Egypt, and it costs, I believe, 50 gold. So I'm wondering if I should... do we have anything spare sitting around that I could sell? I can get us 22 gold real quick, but that doesn't really help. I'm wondering if it's worth it to spend a point of insight. Well, I'll get a point of insight for getting the treasure. I don't think that it's always available. But let's go ahead and... I'm going to spend 1 point of insight in the hopes of being able to purchase this treasure. Also, the treasure does... It says in the text that it increases your max supplies, but I'm pretty sure that what it actually does is increase your current supplies. The number left of the slash, rather than the number to the right. We'll see. Anyway, the Egyptian desert. Padrino is already complaining about being thirsty. He didn't bring enough of that Brazilian coffee. Ivan sighs and checks the map you got from the Renowned Explorers International Society. And hey, there's a big Temple of War over there. By chance, a British expedition passes you. The leader of the caravan approaches you with enthusiasm. Ah, another group of fine explorers. Be careful not to dry out in the desert. Visit an oasis to replenish your supplies. He hands over a map of all the oases. Wow, and they're all the way over there. That kind of is a bummer. Alright, well... Remember, encounters are good for our supply count. There are several small houses lying in ruins in the middle of the desert. You investigate each house, but nothing noteworthy can be found. But then Ivan notices a basement door. Ivan opens the doors and everybody walks down the stairs, Hildegard holding a lit torch. You see what happens to be what appears to be an old embalming room. You know what? I don't honestly know that I've ever seen this before. You search for something of value. There are a lot of embalming tools, linen, and pottery. As you're searching, you hear moaning coming from a dark corner. Soon, your worst fears become reality. A bunch of mummies is approaching you. With love? I'm trying to convey the interrobang in voice there. It's a little, Anyway, this is our worst nightmare? Man, look at the friendly payout for this one. So what's the deal with these guys? They're strong against confident, weak against sadness. And when mummies are friendly, they hug, which actually is still physical damage. It's not a speech attack. Which means that Ivan is going to be tanking from this side. Unfortunately, Padrino's party time is not going to be that effective against these guys, it looks like. Well, let's start by throwing a punch. Because if I want to do friendly stuff and also take advantage of Ivan's physical superiority, it behooves me to do the one before the other. I think the thing that makes the most sense is to push this guy. I don't think we even have a sadness attack. Yeah, see, it has a one-tile range, which on this map means that it doesn't hit. It's much more difficult to hit multiple targets with it. Here, we'll just use his normal. Party time does less damage than just Excite if you're only hitting one person with it. One of them will be able to get in and hit Hildegard, but only one of them. Yeah, nice, a nice natural bottleneck here. Ah. They kind of sound like Stitch. Right? People know that movie, right? Lilo and Stitch? Not super related to the game, but one of my favorite Disney films. And actually, that's the very first movie I owned on DVD, which is kind of weird, I guess, given the timing. Anyway. Hey, we're playing this video game. We're fighting some mummies. Apparently, I don't think that a battle against mummies is interesting enough to talk about. Alright. We're gonna eat an armor penalty here, but I think we should be okay. Ivan's tough as hell, and Padrino has spirit and grit yet. Oh, actually, he can't even get to a place where he can, yeah. We can't even get to a place where we can attack with Padrino. Oh, they switch back to friendly as soon as we do. Alright, I don't think that we want to throw another punch. Is he going to be able to... No, not even close. Jeez. Ivan, your speech defense is embarrassing. And so you saw there that the hug makes you sad, which I think is kind of crappy. That's a crappy thing to do to somebody. Man, that hits really hard. Yeah, I don't think we can afford to do that. 2. Ivan, your speech defense is pathetic. We can go ahead and leave these guys. Obviously, in Excited, it doesn't do anything because all of their stuff is physical. Padrino is too slippery. He slyly evades the hug. Probably what happened is the mummy came in for the hug, and then Padrino pretended to have a really important text to send. That's how I usually slyly evade hugs. The mummy stopped trying to hug you and leave you alone. Before you go, you're able to find some valuable embalming tools. All that for 2 tokens. Alright, you know, we have enough supplies that I think it's okay for us to take a 2-point trip every once in a while. The crew finds some materials that can be used to create helpful gear and tools. The materials could also just be studied. So we have a tool already. I think it's worth... Yeah, we're gambling against a single study token. Definitely worth trying to do this. Nope, no such luck. Ivan doesn't know what to make of the materials and ends up destroying them in an attempt to create something useful. Yeah. Oh well. A ravine. You might find something useful at the bottom. Someone can climb down, but doing so in the heat will cost supplies. I'll pay a supply for 6 tokens, I guess. Padrino climbs down skillfully and finds something convenient. I think we're really focused on gold now. We're setting up for this final expedition. There's a lot of money to be had here. We're going to take all of it. A vast, open piece of desert without a single spot of shade stands before you. Padrino spots a rock formation miles ahead with a looking glass, probably containing valuables. However, nobody feels like braving this exhausting sea of sand. I do have to imagine that long adventures in a big desert would be terrible. Man, we're paying a lot of supplies for everything. Ivan didn't like it, but went through with it anyway. After hours of baking in the sun, Ivan returns with a pouch full of mined gold. Ivan really is a physically impressive explorer. It's true. So I think this will be the obelisk, right? Yeah, the Starry Night encounter. The crew is relaxing at night, looking at the stars. It's pretty cold out here, but the campfire provides some heat. Then, something happens. Padrino suddenly pops up and starts running toward the ruins of an obelisk close by. The crew thinks he's losing it. Ivan quickly follows to see what's going on. Padrino is obsessively looking through maps and at the obelisk. Ivan looks a bit flabbergasted as Padrino sums up locations and calculations. Suddenly, Padrino seems to know something. Aliens! I beg your pardon? Padrino begins a rant about how aliens visited ancient Egypt, and the pyramids in this obelisk are proof, and blah blah blah. Ivan can't listen to it any longer. It seems that every bright mind must be a little crazy. So yeah, this encounter just gives you Archaeologist Occult for free, which is cool. Man, we are, like, exclusively getting either 2-point travels or 1-point travels to places where you then have to spend another point of, supplies to get the tokens. So we'll go here, then here. It kind of bums me out not to be able to take advantage of the 0-point travel. But we have very few options for efficient travel at all. As you walk through the vast, boring desert, you suddenly see an unusual red sandhill. The crew walks toward the foot of the hill to see if there are any answers. You make the climb to the top, where you're shocked to see a giant sunflower-like flower on top of the hill. You get a strange vibe from the flower. You examine the giant leaves and the giant seeds of the sunflower. The smell around the flower is very nice and sweet. Hildegard tries to pull out one of the seeds to see if it is edible. This is not a good way of doing that. Suddenly, the flower starts shaking heavily, and you are swallowed by the flower. She's just gonna put it in her mouth, right, to check if it's edible? That's not a good method. What if it's incredibly poisonous? You're being pulled into the hill. Things get a bit vague now. The vine suddenly lets go, and you find yourselves in some sort of organic room. The room is lit up by glowing algae, which we will study. These are no ordinary algae. These produce a nice glowing light, which make life underground possible. Hildegard looks around and notices some dead bodies leaning against organic spikes. Also, that these spikes are slowly closing in. The longer you stay here, the harder it will be to escape unharmed. So the find your way out thing. 30% base chance, and then you have increased chance from naturalists and scouts and quick thinkers. And every time you get tokens out of here, it goes down. We're going to go all the way to the end, which gives a treasure, and then we'll use our tool to escape, I'm sure. These bodies look digested by the flower. It seems the flower eats any kind of life to survive. You search the bodies and find some old but valuable equipment. The spikes are getting pretty close now. Everyone's looking for a way out when Hildegard spots a beautiful and probably rare orchid. What an amazing sight! Hildegard wants to take it. But is it worth the danger of being digested? Of course it's worth the danger. It's treasure. The orchid looks even more beautiful up close. Hildegard carefully picks up the orchid along with some earth and takes it with you. Free orchids, man. Again, we're going to go really hard on collect tokens here. So I'm going to go ahead and tool this, even though the chance is relatively high already, because the failure penalty is severe. Alright, the spikes keep getting closer and closer, but after some intense searching, you find a weak spot and escape just in time. The only damage done is some sand in your eyes. You stand at the foot of the hill and take a look back at the amazing flower. Yeah, so that's not a terrible outcome. We're gonna go ahead and take advantage of this of this 0. The crew finds a cryptic hieroglyph tablet. Everyone takes a look at it, but comes up with different interpretations. In the end, you decide to... Okay, so when it's red, when the lines are red at the right end, that means a serious failure penalty. -1 supply is the end of the world. We're gonna go for this, because it'll reveal to us the locations of certain types of treasures. And at this point, you know, minus supplies is just kind of the name of the game. This is all that ever happens to us. Pedrino has a eureka moment and deduces that the tablet shows the location of ancient sites. The War Temple of Kemhut is one of them, but there are others that might be useful. See, there you go. That's just good information. I would have seen this anyway, because I definitely have continued taking the 0-point trail. Well, there's no sense in taking the 2-point travel when I can just do this and then walk over there. You stumble upon a graveyard full of camel carcasses, some still rotting. Hildegard is disgusted by the smell, and who wouldn't be? One of the carcasses is moving, because it's full of scorpions. Hooray! Well, scorpions attack physically as well, obviously. And we have some skill in dealing with physical attackers. Move Ivan forward before we swing, in the hopes of drawing as many scorpions as possible onto him. And these guys actually have very little health. Scorpions are not known for their strength of character. Also, their mind is blown by very simple magic tricks that even I could perform. Hildegard is basically the mind freak. Alright, so we're a little overmatched here to some Scorpions. They are not ready. Remember, any node that has a battle at it, we have to treat as taking one less supply to approach than normal because of our many, many bonuses. So it's very, very fortuitous for us that these Scorpions are here. It's important to move for Drino because he has the minus speech defense aura. Hildegard's not getting the one shot without it. But these are pretty simple tactics. There's not a lot of depth and complexity to a lot of these Egypt encounters. You get the better of the Scorpions and they'll leave you alone for now. This will make for an interesting case study on desert wildlife. Yes, apparently Scorpions eat camel carcasses. Who would have thought? We get so many tokens for approaching certain kinds of challenges. After navigating a particularly tenacious sandstorm, the crew finds something fantastic. The puzzling Red Pyramid of Sneferu. It is said to be notoriously dangerous. But uncovering its secret is every explorer's dream, and now we have to deal with, what's-her-face. Yep. There she is, Cassandra Shafiq. You distinctly remember each other from your encounter in the Highlands. And she's like, stuff, and then, I don't words with you. And then she tells us that her henchmen are named Rivalinis, because that's... You know, Cassandra... Listen, I don't like to just jump to conclusions about people, but if you're really willing to call your henchmen Rivalinis, I have to think you might have some kind of horrible brain damage. Well, we're going to open with... Roar. To get the friendly ability bonus, which I'm sure will allow us to take both of these guys out with party time. Oh, it looks like maybe not. Oh no, we got there. Yep, and then Hildegard finishes this guy off, and we win the battle in a single round. Amazingly allured. 63 damage is pretty okay. With those Rivalinis taken care of, you are free to enter the Red Pyramid. Cassandra already has a head start, though. The crew is inside the pyramid. Others have tried to best this pyramid, but they never got far. You arrive in the first room. It seems that Cassandra noticed you coming. The path forward is blocked by a limestone plate, which Ivan will just bash open. Wow, he has like 170% chance to succeed on this. Ivan charges toward the stone, pickaxe in hand, and with great force shatters it. Such unbelievable force. It's great and unbelievable. You continue forward, gaining ground on Cassandra. People will pay good money for some of the shards Ivan just made. Yeah, that's good. We're definitely not being needlessly destructive. The crew carries on through the musty halls to find the fabled Chamber of Hieroglyphs. Switches with hieroglyphs are everywhere, each representing a notable achievement of the Egyptian civilization. A way forward is, as you expected, absent. Cassandra must have passed through here just seconds ago. If you want to visit my tomb, pay respect by listing my achievements. Padrino's actually, pretty good at this. I think that we can, So if we pass this, our odds for getting past the closing door challenge increase by 25%. But I think that we can afford to just... I don't actually know what happens if you do this. So this decreases your odds for the challenge. This increases them. Why? This... okay. Because it curses us. Ivan frantically starts pushing all the buttons. A deep voice echoes through the room in ancient Egyptian. Difit prat haru kamet. You just got cursed. Adreno's absolutely baffled with this stupid decision. Ivan fearfully continues, and a secret door... Okay, so a curse was placed on everybody. Which, that is the icon for lowered attack. That actually wouldn't be a big deal. The crew goes down a long, long hallway. It has abrupt corners as it goes down pretty consistently. The crew tries to make haste to catch up with Cassandra. The crew takes a final corner and sees a closing door. Oh, man. This would be a real bummer to lose. Frankly. Thankfully, we did not. -2 resolve is harsh. You made it! The door is closing quickly, but Padrino's the last one to slide through heroically before it slams down. Time to go face Cassandra in the burial chamber of Sneferu. And, of course, the Mask of Sneferu, which is an absolutely stunning treasure, but unfortunately, someone just arrived seconds before you. Alright. We're gonna call her Snake Eyes, in the hopes of starting the encounter devious. Let's settle this like explorers, once and for all. Which means, probably fighting. You know how we do. Alright, so all we have to do is convince Cassandra that the treasure will be in the right hands with us, which should be easy enough. See? Now the real question is... does Ivan punch this last guy over here? You know, I think it makes sense too. We'll have plenty of time to get back to friendly. And honestly, it's going to take a couple of turns just for them to get over to us. I imagine Padrino can take this guy down in one. Cassandra's probably weak against Excite. Yeah. Most really speechy characters are weak against Excite. So, if we do this way, if we hit her with the... Oh, I should have moved Ivan first. He could have excited Hildegard. Really? That was what she spent her turn doing? Alright, so... oh, she buffed herself by doing that, though. I see. So I think that we can have Ivan just block this guy off and absorb a hit from him. And end the turn in friendly. And with Cassandra not excited. Alright, and then we can finish her off at the start of the next turn. We should be friendly dominant by about 1,000 points. Yeah.
Hey. Oh. Whoa.
Whoa. Why is that so impressive? All she did was say hey. I get that it's supposed to be kind of a seductive thing. I guess maybe, you know, maybe Hildegard swings that way. Well, listen, no matter which way you swing, you gotta love Padrino's maracas. Apparently. Cassandra trusts that the treasure is better in our hands. Yep, I hope to see it soon in a museum. Yeah, maybe. I might put it in a museum. Alright. Current highest level athlete gains +1 treasure hunt on athlete spins? That seems really good. With that, your adventure in the Red Pyramid has reached its conclusion. The crew will long remember the race against Cassandra, how Padrino barely slid underneath the closing door, and how you obtained the Mask of Sneferu fair and square. Hopefully they remember it well enough to write a nice screenplay about it. The heat is unbearable. You're forced to wait in the shade and use some supplies, or to drink some of Padrino's ridiculous Brazilian coffee. It would be 2 supplies and then 2 supplies to get to... we'll barely gain anything by going to that oasis. Alright. Who finds nothing of interest? Oh, I guess we do get to camp at least. Vow of Peace I don't think is worth doing anymore. I think it makes sense to hold this. This would be an okay card to play during the 5th expedition for points. But right now we have to do this, right? 20 collect, 20 study before the final spending phase. Ivan ranks among the best athletes that currently walk the earth. His fitness and strength are great, and has delivered the crew many opportunities and great wealth. The crew is proud to have Ivan on their side. Yeah. I don't think we realistically had any choice but that. Show me Vow of Peace in the 4th expedition. After a while in the desert, you finally see an oasis on the horizon. You arrive at the oasis and prepare to refill all the water canteens you have. Around the oasis, you see groups of locals, nomads, and a group of British excavators. Well, obviously, we're going to approach the British because I know that we can get some supplies from them and also an encounter which will give us an additional supply. They do not take kindly to your request for supplies. So when we defeat them, they'll give us 2 points, and since we will defeat them friendly, we'll get 1 point from doing the encounter. I have to say, this adventure did not turn out the way I was hoping it would. But honestly, it's still going quite well. Man, British nobleman is immune to excited. Huh. Well, we're going to have to rely on a little bit of violence here, I think. So let's open up friendly. Apparently Hildegard is going to be our,
Whoa. Yeah.
going to be our powerhouse here. And then that'll enable me to throw a punch that will actually take this guy down in 1. Take this girl down in 1. Oh, and reflect some damage onto the one nearby, of course. Pedrino might still be able to bring her down even through her resistance. Ah, close. She at 1? She is. Alright, well, Ivan can try to take her down with his terrible little excite. Oh, and they excited Hildegard. That is a bad plan.
Hey.
I really do enjoy that money thing. That's very amusing to me. Yeah. There's really no point in doing party time. But it does make sense for Pedrino to stand here. Actually, out of curiosity, how much damage does she do to this guy? She probably needs to start working on him. Otherwise, we're going to be just sitting here, waiting for a very long time while she solos him after we're able to finish these guys off. His henchmen, henchwomen, hench people, hench something.
Hi.
All right, without the bonus speech power from being, or without the bonus speech defense from being aggressive louts, these guys actually hit quite a bit harder. Alright, Ivan, you can do it. Come over here and terrify his pants off. That was weird. We were being all friendly, and then Ivan came over and pretended to be a lion. Honestly, regardless of the situation, Ivan pretending to be a lion is kind of weird. Alright, you are very persuasive. They give you some of their supplies and leave. You check how many supplies you have and leave before any more British come. This is There's some weird issues of, like, repetitive language sometimes. A private British expedition force. They're in possession of a full set of canopic jars. A piece that would be better off in a museum than a private collection. Can I help you, dear travelers? A cup of tea, perhaps? Well, we could just talk to him, but engaging him in an encounter is going to have way better payouts for us. Including the point of supplies. I was not specifically thinking about that, but that is certainly certainly a thing that is worth thinking about. So... Oh, Padrino, come stand over here.
Ta-da! Whoa.
Padrino needs to lend us his aura. This guy has no armor. I wonder if I should throw my punch here. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Reflect a little bit of damage out onto these guys. And I don't know. Do this, I guess.
Yeah.
And now these, unfortunately, Ivan's probably gonna get swarmed here. Oh no!
Hi.
That's weird. We know from past experience that the AI generally loves to gang up.
Hi.
I'm surprised that they didn't just, go for 3 attacks on Ivan. Maybe it has to do with his high defenses.
Hi.
Padrino's excited about everything all the time. I don't think that I do want to do this. That seems dangerous. I don't want to end the encounter devious, obviously. I remember, even though the investor is immune to the attack, it is going to count as an extra target nearby for the damage dealt to the other two. Although it looks like it's not really going to be that much damage. It underestimated us a little bit, I think. She can deal with this. Alright. Ivan, now you can go roar at somebody. I think if I had done his roar and finished off 2 people with it, it might have been too many devious points for us to overcome. Maybe that's, No, you know what? It probably would have been fine, actually. I'm just paranoid. I don't want to not get the point of supplies. That would be a real bummer.
Whoa. Yeah.
Whoa, I love fake flowers. Seriously, that flower trick is... Alright, never mind. It's like the 1800s. People are less knowledgeable about things. The investor has made up his mind. I never would have thought I'd find such jolly good company here in the desert. You can have these jars. I'm more of a bug collector anyway. Alright, there we go. Usually you can find a lot of treasure in Egypt. I'm pretty surprised by how few we've found early on. Aha! Ivan, being a level 3 athlete, also can motivate us not to lose supplies. Alright, we finally see another oasis. After a long, hard struggle through the vast, hot desert, you finally reach an oasis. There's a lake with some fish, date palms, plants, and a few other people who are resting here. So, we can see this is an athlete spin, so we'll get a treasure hunt token for it. Pretty much a no-brainer. Ivan climbs to the highest point of the date palm and starts picking. A gust of wind shakes the tree, but Ivan holds on and all the dates fall down. Enough to make some money. That's really not even... Ivan didn't even really do anything there, he just was on the tree. And the others have refilled the canteens for another 2 points of supplies. Ivan has hit max level. I guess we'll do this. We're not going to spend much time aggressive. 2 supplies to enter, 2 supplies to leave. I am so frustrated. We're going to wind our way up this side. Well, the fact that we're going to gain a point of supplies at the node... No, we're going to... Oh, this encounter does not give tokens. We may not get a point of supplies. A group of scorpions are waiting in the desert for some prey. More importantly, amidst the scorpions is a bag of golden coins, slowly drifting away in the quicksand. Ivan contemplates the possibilities. Well... We're not good at either of these things, though. Yeah, fighting the scorpions will get Hildegard to max level. Let's go ahead and do it even if it doesn't pay out. Oh! It looks like we do still get the point of supplies, actually. So we'll send Ivan back here to open up with this. Spread a little damage out. Pedrino should trivially be able to... Oh, maybe not. Party time looks like it's maybe not going to be that effective. That's okay. We can just do our normal attacks. I don't know. Party time would have done that amount of damage. It would have been 100% of his speech to both of them. Oh, I guess it's not quite that amount of damage, because he does have the book that increases the value of Excite. But it doesn't work on all of things that are exciting, just the attack named Excite. Okay, so if we still get our supply, then this wasn't that bad. Also, Hildegard is a real boss. She's carrying us through basically every encounter now. Yep, okay. You succeeded in getting that gold. The scorpions are no match for the crew. Some code. Alright, so at the start of the turn, Hildegard gets healed for 6 spirit for each excited character in the arena, or gain an extra speech on Hildegard's impressed with plus 50% speech. These are both extremely powerful. I think the fact that I took double cheer makes this a little bit less necessary, and Hildegard blowing people out with the super impresses should be fun to watch at least. Alright, I think I'm gonna go this way. Well, no, let's go this way. Never mind, it's 2 points to leave that node in every interesting direction. Why are there so many 2-point paths? Exploring the desert sometimes becomes easier when some set up camp while others explore the surroundings. Ivan thinks this is such a time, so set up camp is kind of a tricky thing to say, because many setting up a camp encounters in the game are actually tactician tests. But there is a survivalist perk called camping. So I'm not sure if it's looking for survivalists or tacticians to set up camp. I mean, in any case, we're going to send Pedrino out exploring, I guess, because he's the naturalist. And Hildegard will go with him. Ivan thought they had escaped the dangers of exploration for once, when suddenly the camp is attacked by bandits. Just Ivan's luck. Yep, since it wanted tactician here. Alright, don't you dare take my 100 gold. I need that to buy treasures. I don't even remember what the treasure is. It's probably a jar of some kind. What a fierce defense! By using nearby rock formations and tools left behind by the crew, Ivan creates a makeshift fortress. The bandits see this is going to be a tough job and leave. To boot, Hildegard comes back from scouting with some gems. Great. I really thought that it was going to be the gold was going to have come from those guys, but okay. You arrive at an oasis where some friendly nomads have set up camp. They're in a cheerful mood. Welcome, travelers. We just had a lucrative journey. And if that isn't enough, God has blessed us with this bountiful oasis. We want to share our fortune with you. How many supply tokens? Or how many supplies do I actually want? So here we're paying 1 supply for 3 coins. Here we're paying 1 supply for 4 coins twice. You know what? Let's do this one. I know that we're usually going super hard on the supplies, but our crew has a lot of skills. There's a supply node that we can see that we're going to wind our way back toward. After some trading, chatting, and feasting, it's time for the crew to move on. The nomads cheerfully wave goodbye and wish you the best of luck. A group of Egyptians crosses your path. One of them seems to be a journalist who went to cover a story in the south. Now is your chance to impress these good people for a good story. So, 1 campaign token is the safety play. Obviously, we go for the roll. Impressive. With some well-placed compliments and a telling story, Pedrino convinces the journalist to write a big article on you. So, I want to talk for a second about about XP. The fact that we're already max level. Everybody's max level because we got to do so many encounters. And part of the reason that we got to do so many encounters is that we focused so hard on supplies. We were able to visit a ton of nodes on the last expedition. And even on the expedition before that, we got to see a lot. And it's directly due to our huge supply values. Alright, this node has a lot of crappy 2-point paths leading out from it. Oh no, Ivan gets stuck in quicksand and is desperately waving around. Someone needs to help. Well, gee, I wonder. Also, Pedrino losing armor wouldn't really be a big deal because he has all that grit. Oh no, 72%, insufficient. That goes horribly wrong. Pedrino tries to help Ivan, but takes her wrong, and gets stuck as well. They manage to escape, but Ivan isn't feeling too well. Well, that's a bummer. A British camp, thank goodness. The crew's running out of steam and could use a break. You want to approach the camp, but the guards look on edge. Some diplomacy might allow you to enter. Yes, I think some diplomacy might. You know, it's not guaranteed to work. Great, Hildegard takes a polite diplomatic approach with the camp leader and you're allowed to stay. The whole crew enjoys some nice shade, a good night, and a jolly good cup of tea. In return, Pedrino cooks for the soldiers. Isn't that nice of him? Ooh, a cool figure approaches the crew. On closer inspection, it's Ilmiz the Eagle from Constantinople. So this is a specialist that you can hire. In the last patch, they put a couple of these, I guess a bunch of these encounters in, where you can encounter the specialists out in the world. Just being around such a cool person is pleasantly refreshing. What are you doing here? While you don't have a particularly interesting relationship, Ilmiz greets you politely. Greetings, Ivan. I'm sorry I can't stay longer. I have an important mission. Let's exchange some information about this desert, shall we? You learn a bit from each other and then part ways again. She sure is an interesting lady. I wonder if, you don't have a particularly interesting relationship is called out here. I wonder if she was in our entourage, if this would be different. I bet it would. Alright. A caravan of explorers from the British excavation forces looking to find treasures for the Empire. One of the investors seems to have an important document in his possession. I want important documents. Pedrino, go get it. Go get it, boy. Come on. Yeah. Tahao, slowpokes. Or chow. This is a C. Pedrino makes away with the document and some coin. I have no idea. Chow, like, not the Italian chow. That's spelled very differently. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Never mind. We'll keep moving. We are never forced to wait in the shade and use supplies, because Pedrino's great at everything. Actually, Pedrino and Ivan are each great at everything. The desert is merciless, but sometimes the sands hide something valuable. A trained survivalist might be able to find solace and wealth. With sharp senses and instinct, Pedrino manages to find edible roots and lost caravan coins. Even the desert drought can't tame Pedrino's survival spirit. Okay, so we only found 2 supplies there. Which means that we are going to eat some supply penalties on the way back. Actually, we're lucky that there's a 0-point trail here. So we can move to here, and then to here. And then we're going to take 1-2 penalties. That's a shame. We'll go to this node. There's a chance that it's the Hidden Horde. Oh no! Pedrino loses speech power. That's not very good. That's a pretty bad thing. And Hildegard loses speech power. Wow, there's nothing, literally nothing could have happened that would have been worse than that. There it is, the Temple of War. Once you figure out what's going on here, the expedition will come to an end. The crew approaches the temple. However, the seal has already been removed. Ivan tells the crew that the temple is dedicated to Sekhmet, the goddess of war and destruction. After following a hallway, the crew arrives at the Chamber of War. Sarcophagi of soldiers are aligned against the wall, and a stele stands tall in the center. It seems someone has been here before. In the search, Ivan approaches the stele and it reads it out loud. By decree of Sekhmet, only those skilled in the art of war may proceed. All of a sudden, a sarcophagus bursts open. It's a mummy general. Beat me in a game of war, O living thing, and prove your worth. So Ivan would be okay at the game of war. Actually, that's better than okay. We could also go for some diplomacy. We're actually better at the game of war. Alright, get there, buddy. What a tactical masterclass by Ivan! Ivan's Egyptian chariots outflank the general's haughty spear division, and Ivan delivers a decisive blow to the general's forces. Impressive! You are worthy of meeting Sekhmet. The crew now moves on through a long and dark hallway. The crew can only see ahead with the flaming light of their torches. Wall paintings describe locations where offerings were brought to Sekhmet in order to win her favor in war. You have a feeling you're missing something here. Yeah, if somebody in the crew is a level 4 archaeologist, you can get a treasure there. At least 30 minutes pass as the crew walks down the very long corridor. Hildegard feels very uncomfortable in this enclosed, dry place, but Ivan bolsters the crew's will to carry on. Then you hear noises in the distance. You find a new room, sacred ground to the goddess Sekhmet. The room is lit red with the oddest light and filled with ancient treasures. At last, war rises again! Oh no. The incarnation of Sekhmet stands before you. Finally, I am whole again. First, I need to repay my debt. The goddess of war has been called to wage war against the enemies of her followers. You! Now bow down to me or be the first to fall. Yeah. Listen, I'm not afraid of apparently literal Egyptian gods, for some reason. So yeah, Hildegard and Pedrino both having lost speech power is the worst thing that could have happened by a huge margin. That sucks so much. Fortunately, these guys are weak against Excite. Yeah, Hildegard can't one-shot them anymore. Actually, hold on. Let's just use party time now. Start the cooldown rolling. Then Hildegard can run forward. Ivan can give her a little speech boost. And then she can take care of this guy by herself. You know, at least Ivan has a use, even though we never did get his Vow of Peace thing going. Him being able to push excitement onto others is pretty valuable. It also allows him to counter things like that. Her being impressed is not as dangerous as it would be in some circumstances. Yeah, this seems like a fine time. Alright, so Bastet transforms, and now we'll do physical attacks for the next couple of turns until we reverse back into friendly. Which means that Hildegard being impressed actually doesn't hurt us. Heartwarming. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to finish that guy off in one. What's the story with resistant to impress? Once we move the barometer back over to friendly, in friendly form, her resistances are different. Oh, I forgot about Hildegard's second attack. Right. Alright, so we are going to go friendly. Can Padrino run backwards and handle one of these guys? Yeah, that seems like the way to do this. I love the way their little heads wiggle. Alright, so yeah, Sekhmet will change back into friendly mode, where she is still immune to Impress. That's actually really annoying. Well, I can do this at least. And she's not weak to anything. Man. Alright. Ivan has 64 speech defense and could endure an excited speech if he had to. Whoa. So... we have access to party time next turn. Remember, party time now is a heal, in addition to its other, other things, so... we shouldn't need party time next turn, but we have access to it again. And remember, if we position our party carefully before doing it, it will heal the entire party. I just hit enter without taking Ivan's turn. Because I was already thinking too much about next turn. Alright, can Hildegard get close enough to hit these mummies? She cannot. And she can't do a lot of damage. She can try, I can try Terrified. Nope, she's immune to that too. She's immune to both of Hildegard's non-aggressive attacks. Well, I could come over here and throw a... yeah, I think this is what we're doing. Throw a pinning strike. This will get her attention. And in her aggressive form, she is not immune to Impress. She's only resistant, right? Yeah. Although she is now immune to Excite, so Padrino is going to have to find something else to do. Oh, I know what Padrino does. Let's just fix that right quick. Alright, as long as we get a friendly killing blow, I think we should still get the friendly finish to the fight. Aww. Well, Padrino can take care of these guys real quick. Oh, only one of them. That's embarrassing. Ivan doesn't really have anything to do. I don't want to hit her with a non-friendly attack here. It's okay. Hildegard will do it. We're not in danger of losing anyone. Alright. Listen, everybody loves very simple magic tricks. Get one of those wands with those, you know, the spring-loaded little flower thing. Apparently, enough to defeat anything you might come across, including an actual god. Your friendly ways have convinced Sekhmet. I see this world does not need the goddess of war right now. Fine. I will return to my heavenly realm. And everybody got some speech. And then we get a mask of pure gold and precious metals. Which is exciting. Oh, wow. I sure wish that 4 Treasure Hunt was one of the choices. How many collect tokens do we get? 96? Jeez. So this would be a fair amount of gold right here. We don't need 4 secret tokens worth of status. We don't actually have a use for it. I almost wonder if the almost 300 gold that we would get from this is worth it. Yeah, let's do that. As you pick up the mask, the temple starts shaking. This whole goddess reviving thing has left the temple a tad unstable. It's collapsing, and you're running out of time. Flee! Alright, the stakes for this are very low. Oh no, we didn't get our 2 campaign tokens. Oh no, you are trapped. You almost made it out while leaving spoils behind, but the entrance collapsed in front of you. Hildegard started to panic. Are you stuck here for the rest of your life? That's when a huge steam trail opens the entrance. And hey look, it's Rivalu. Oh, hello. Don't you know this place isn't safe for amateurs? Ivan is more frustrated than relieved at being saved by your rival. You can see it on his face. Rivalu continues. I am here to investigate a sinister group called the Anti-Explorers. Have you seen anything? No. Of course not. You're a rookie. Stupid of me to ask. However, I fear they pose a threat to all of us. He then continues in a lighter tone. I'll handle this matter myself. Now, why are we still here? This place has been explored. Let's move out. You know, Rivalu, he's not actually like a bad explorer. He's just frustrating as a person, on a personal level. Well, I'm sad that we did not get the encounter where you can buy the treasure. Because I spent a point of insight in the hopes of that. I don't know why this has to appear after every expedition. It should only appear after the second and third ones, right? Okay, so this was a pretty good haul. We're going to spend all of our insight, all of our remaining insight on treasure hunt tokens, I think. That would seem to be the thing that makes sense. Oh yeah, I didn't even notice how many encounter tokens we got. I'm sure it was quite a few. Yeah, alright, not too bad. But we're going to need more money than that. Our score is not very good. Journalists storm into the society. They all want to hear from you. Ivan, the world is looking forward to your final discoveries and judgment. What should the world look at when following you? What will bring you the most renown? Well, we're going to go pretty hard on the encounter tokens. And the encounter token payout is pretty balanced. I think we're just going to take this. Plus 60% renown from all resources. Okay, so we send the thing to Beijing, allowing us to spend insight in an even more effective way. Yeah, that looks pretty good. But first, research papers. Alright, so we're looking to hit the capstone here, obviously. Yeah. Wait, how many resource points? Or we need 425 research. Honestly, the Origin of Species 2 is not that great. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about trying to hit the research level. It's better to get it earlier because it gives you a bonus to insight spending. We're just making money, looking for to make equipment. Oh, you know what? I'm being a big dummy. We bought out this one. Let's buy out the last specialist here. How are we doing on these? We have a level 2 diplomat. We could get a level 5 survivalist thing going and be getting 2 tokens from his successes. I think that makes sense. We'll give him camping. Or does he have either of those? Yeah, he has spotting. Okay, we'll give him camping. The Spanish folk hero Vigilante, known for catching banditos at dawn, wants to teach one of you some survivalist skills. Pedrino, get on it. Also, Vigilante has a brand of canned dog food that he sells, I believe. I've been playing this game a long time, guys. I mean, 150 gold per insight is not terrible. Alright, so we're gonna have enough enough gold here. Oh, I did actually... Oh, we may as well take this. 2 points of insight. Some, Oh, you only get a bonus when spending on study anyway. But, plus 50% renown from a thing and 2 points of insight we bought, basically. We're still going hard on gold. Oh, I am still being dumb, though. The whole reason that I looked at the entourage thing was not so that I could finish buying specialists, but so that I could spend our copious status on helpers. Well, we'll just buy whoever's cheapest at every level here. We get renown when we buy helpers, remember, from our first research tree. And now our token payouts are higher. That's why I should have done that first. Because we've been missing out on gold, basically. Well, that's a small mistake, but it's probably going to end up being a fair amount of difference in the actual resource values we have here. So I'm disappointed in myself. Congratulations. Welcome to the team. So, 4,000 gold. Tactician offense. Does he have that? He does. What a shame. How about formations? He does not have formations. Alright, the tactician's notes would not be great, but they are an option that we have. I guess the question is, what do we want to do with Ivan? We should upgrade his offense, but in what way? Should we buy him a book and just hope that he hits with his attacks when he makes them? Or should we buy him a glove? Perhaps this one that is clearly a Katar, and just trust that punching people will be valuable. I think that makes sense. We're just gonna specialize him in what he's good at. Okay, now I should buy some defenses for my poor crew members. A little bit of armor. I'm trying to figure out how much I want to spend, because both of these guys are only using 400 level books. We could take them up to the 1350 books. How much better do their defenses need to be? Hildegard having 0 armor is not okay. If I go 700 point armor, 700 point boots, we'll only have 1228 left, which isn't actually enough to buy a top level book anyway. Well, no, it would be, because we'd get to sell one of the existing books. Let's do that. Let's do that. So, 700 level armor. I want to buy him boots. Oh, the boots are 800. No, I'm going to buy him the adventure armor. And then the question is, who gets the book? We're going to go with Hildegard because she gets to double attack. Alright, and then we have 185 left, so we could buy a cheap trinket. There's no reason not to. I could give somebody +5 speech defense. That's, you know, not exciting, but this is not going to happen, really. Us being devious. Oh, we're looking at that one. Then over here, I guess a lucky charm wouldn't be bad. Yeah, let's do that. Sadden resistance and starts encounters excited. Alright, well that's going to be it for this episode. Come back next time. We're taking 18 supplies to the Lost Island, and we're going to see every damn thing. Also, prepare for nature challenges and abundance. Oh, we're prepared. We'll see you then.